The province's 8th tornado of the year touches down in the parkland while heavy rain slams Regina. A look inside Saskatchewan's Marshals Service. And Moose Jaw's Temple Garden Spa sets to reopen.
Live from our studios in Regina, this is CTV News.
Good evening. Lee is away tonight. A wild weekend of weather across Saskatchewan, from flooding in our city to a confirmed tornado touching down near Yorkton. Jacob Carr has all the details.
Rain ravaged the city of Regina over the weekend, causing flooded streets in some areas, like in the north end on Daglish Drive.
By that green pole over there, it's up to my waist. We had one kid try to come through, totaled his car. I helped push it out down the street, and as soon as he opened his door, you couldn't see his pedals. There was so much flood water in there.
That is exactly what not to do during a heavy rainstorm, according to Environment and Climate Change Canada, who said the Queen City received over 50 millimeters of rain on Saturday alone.
If you're in a car, do not drive through floodwaters or underpasses. Avoid crossing bridges if the water is close to touching the bridge.
That was not the only weather event to affect residents in southern Saskatchewan. A confirmed tornado touched down over the weekend in Peony, just north of Yorkton. It is the 8th confirmed tornado this year, which Environment and Climate Change say is on pace to near the average number seen over the past few years. There were 21 confirmed tornadoes in 2025 across the province and 19 in 2024.
Tornado watch did go out for the area around noon, so we did know that the area was favorable for tornadogenesis, and there was structural damage to trees, damage to like power lines.
While more rain is set to hit the city of Regina this week, according to Gurgley, the likelihood of another monsoon is low, and that should be welcome news to residents like Crookshank.
There's one house down there where it's getting into their windowsill, so it's getting all in the basement. Obviously, like these new fences that were put up, I think, a week ago, a lot of them are getting blown out.
But Gurgley also added that being under thunderstorm watch can bring unpredictable amounts of precipitation, so Regina residents should remain diligent and check the forecast regularly. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
All right, so let's bring in Sabine now for our first look at weather here tonight. Sabine, very wet on the weekend, but today we had a little bit of a reprieve, sunny, but it's getting a little cloudier. How are we shaping up for the next day or so?
There's more rain on the way, Donovan. I know it's not what many want to hear, especially after what we saw come through this weekend. We have rainfall warnings issued for parts of the parkland. That's all shaded in the green there. It is an orange level warning, so a little bit higher of a risk when it comes through the area. A little bit more severe weather could affect many areas. You can see basically from about Hudson Bay down to Esterhazy, expecting to see anywhere between 35 to 90 millimeters of rain, and certain localized areas could even see higher than 150 millimeters of rain. So something to be mindful of. Further up north, the white is air quality warnings we have for most of northern Saskatchewan, and the red are heat warnings that we haven't really seen much of lately. That is not going to change. We're going to see temperatures staying within seasonal range today, warmed up to about 24 degrees. That'll remain, but I'll talk more about the rain in your forecast. Donovan?
All right, thanks, Sabine. The Saskatchewan Marshals are still very young in its existence, but members are already active across the province. We got an inside look at how operations are going, and to learn more about how the service hopes to make communities safer, Sierra D'Souza Butts has the details on this unique law enforcement agency and how members are being recruited.
Born and raised in Moose Jaw, Peyton Longworth is proud to join a new police agency in Saskatchewan.
Ever since I was a child, I've wanted to be a police officer. It was a dream of mine growing up, and I'm just thankful that the Saskatchewan Marshals Service gave me an opportunity.
As a recent graduate from Saskatchewan Police College, Longworth says he applied for the Marshals because of its new role in fighting crime.
I just wanted to have a bigger variety and serve the community in a different way that goes beyond just 911 calls and calls for service.
The Saskatchewan Marshals Service, a police agency separate from RCMP, First Nations, and other municipal police services, is the first of its kind in the province. Operating since spring 2025, the Marshals focus on a few specific types of crime involving tracking down prolific offenders, investigating cases from correctional facilities, and more.
We are looking at things like high risk high-impact crime. It's things like drug dealing, gangs, illegal weapons. It could be human trafficking. It's not limited by any one thing.
The service does not provide direct response to 911 calls, but rather works in conjunction with police services in the Regina, Saskatoon, Prince Albert, and North Battleford areas.
Working with our policing partners, working with different agencies to be able to locate people, but also just doing that on-the-ground police work and talking to folks and finding out where somebody might be. Those
selected for the Marshals receive the same training as other police, some graduating from the Saskatchewan Police College or the RCMP Training Academy. So far, about 30 members have been hired, with the goal of building a 70-member force.
These relationships you made in this training here with that class and with those instructors, that's going to last you for your whole career.
Pranshul Katoch, who moved from India to Saskatchewan in 2021, is another recent hire.
Serving in a community which gave me a lot is the best thing I can do.
Growing up in a family with a background in military service, wearing a uniform has always appealed to him.
My grandparent, he served in army, and my mom's side, father, he also served in army. So I grew up in listening stories about law enforcement, how they serve, listening their stories. So I was always drawn about public safety.
The new law enforcement agency is also made up of experienced officers. Inspector James Rapiz served as a member for the Saskatoon Police Service for 23 years.
I retired, and subsequently a couple of years after that, after the Marshals started, I became interested in getting back into law enforcement and started my career here again.
He now oversees the new recruits and field training officers for the Marshals.
Obviously, when you're starting out a police service, there's a lot of knowledge that is required for policing, and so we tend to get those from some experienced places.
The Saskatchewan Marshals Service encourages those interested in providing public safety and protecting people in the province to apply. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
In an attempt to curb impaired driving, the government is looking to implement new laws and harsher consequences for those caught driving under the influence. Hallie Mandrick has the details.
Saskatchewan police officers may soon have the ability to implement immediate penalties for impaired drivers.
These changes will allow for the officers to use administrative penalties for 0.08 and make sure that the sanctions are swift, severe, but also get those officers back doing frontline policing duties much quicker.
In potential changes to the Traffic Safety Act, drivers who fail a roadside breath test will face more immediate penalties, including driver's license suspension, vehicle impoundment, requirement for ignition interlock, impaired education courses, in addition to various financial penalties.
Administrative penalties are a proven and effective way to reduce impaired driving. They empower police to process some impaired drivers through an administrative regime rather than through the criminal process. This helps improve efficiency, reduces strain on the justice system, which we know is overburdened, inefficient, and we see cases, sadly, all across the country being thrown out every day.
These penalties would be implemented at the discretion of the individual police officers responding to each situation. However, there are still situations where these administrative sanctions would not be an option.
If there's been a collision, if there's damage, if there's injuries, if there's a young person in the vehicle, then it's criminal code is still the way that we would proceed.
For those who have been impacted by impaired driving, this change is much more than an amendment to the law.
Every impaired driver stopped before they cause crashes represents a tragedy prevented. It means another family will not receive that devastating knock on the door from the police. It means another loved one will make it home safely.
According to the province, an average of 37 people die and 360 are injured annually due to impaired driving in Saskatchewan. After consultation with partners and stakeholders, the government plans to introduce this legislation in the fall. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Regina police responding to a weapons call near 12th Avenue and Wallace Street around 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Police arriving at a home on the 1900 block of Wallace Street where they were told a male suspect was outside wielding a knife. Police requesting the public to avoid the area. And by 4:30 p.m. the operation was over and people were free to carry on. The suspect has been taken into police custody, but investigation continues. Hundreds of Regina Christians taking part in an annual march on the weekend. It was an opportunity for people from various churches to join together in prayer. The March for Jesus is held globally in over 200 countries. This is the fourth year Regina has hosted such a walk. After undergoing a multi-million-dollar facelift, Moose Jaw's Temple Gardens Spa is close to reopening. It is a major attraction for the city, and work is wrapping up just in time for the summer tourist season. Wayne Mantika got a peek inside at the new mineral pool.
The thermal pools are the centerpiece of the Temple Gardens Mineral Spa in Moose Jaw and are the focus of a spa revitalization.
We want this place to be running smoothly and perfectly for all our customers that come in and share and enjoy the spa and enjoy the room, and attached to the casino, enjoy that.
The Papikasas Cree Nation purchased the 30-year-old resort in 2022 and is heavily investing in upgrades.
Eventually be working on building exterior, the convention spaces in the hotel, public areas. I think to stay at the top of the industry, it almost becomes cyclical. There's never really a year when you do nothing.
The $2 million upgrade to the pool was completed in only 17 days to minimize disruption to the resort. The 181 hotel rooms are also being redone, a project now at the midway mark. Spa patrons appreciate the changes.
2 or 3 times a year we come if we can, and we love it. It's beautiful. They've done a great job on it.
And the lining is really nice in the pool, and the steam rooms are nice. There's a steam room that's cooler that I can actually tolerate.
Temple Gardens is a star attraction in Moose Jaw and a major contributor to the local economy.
It brings people to the city, and even local residents use the spa for some relaxation, just to connect with others. So overall, it's wonderful for everyone.
The next step could be creation of an urban reserve in downtown Moose Jaw. Papikasas First Nation recently purchased the land on which Casino Moose Jaw is situated and is considering an urban reserve application for that land along with the Temple Gardens Mineral Spa. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Moose Jaw.
A weekend flower show in Regina dedicated to a plant known for its spectacular blossoms. The peony blooms only once a year, typically at the end of June, but the show is timed to coincide with that. Hundreds of entries from across the province are received each year, and show organizers say it's one of the hardiest plants on the prairies.
There's peonies that are over 100 years old. Some of the abandoned farmyards, we can still find the peonies, and they were originally imported from China many years ago. Our parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents always grew peonies because they're 100% hardy.
This year's Grand Champion Peony Blossom, a Bartzella variety grown by Sylviane Rivet. Still ahead as CTV News continues, authorities search for missing boaters off the coast of British Columbia. Plus, multiple people are dead after a shooting in Germany. Thanks for staying with us. 6 people are missing after a charter boat sank off the coast of BC just south of Vancouver yesterday. Authorities say 10 people were aboard the boat when it began taking on water just before noon Sunday near Richmond. 4 people were rescued, but the other 6 remain missing. Just before 10 o'clock last night, search and rescue efforts were suspended and the response handed over to the RCMP. There's still no word on what caused this boat to sink. In Ottawa, police are investigating after 2 children were killed in an apparent murder-suicide. Officers conducting a wellness check today at a home in the nation's capital where they say they found 2 boys aged 7 and 12 dead. Investigators add the children's father also found dead in a vehicle fire at a carpool lot just south of the city.
Obviously, it's a very tragic incident for the families, the friends, neighbors. It's certainly when children are involved, it's extra difficult to understand. So we're trying to give the family a little bit of time as well to brief with that prior to identifying the identity of the deceased, as well give them an opportunity to ensure that all family members have been kind of contacted with.
Police say 2 other scenes are also under investigation. The first at that parking lot, the other at a fire at a business which police believe is connected. Parts of eastern Canada are bracing for its first major heat wave of this summer. Sweltering conditions expected to last days with the humidex values forecasted in the 40s. CTV's John Venavalley-Rao now with what experts are warning as dangerous temperatures.
Under an intense sun and temperatures starting to soar. In Toronto, many taking the season's first major heat wave in stride.
Kind of disgusted, but also I love warm weather and winter makes me sad, so I'll take the heat.
Environment Canada issuing orange and yellow warnings for much of Ontario for what it's calling a long-duration heat event. Temperatures climbing to 35 or more by midweek, and the humidex expected to be in the 40s. While southern Quebec is also expecting to feel the heat starting Wednesday.
This has got all the elements of it that makes it a really good old-fashioned classic July heat wave. The length, the heat, the humidity.
It's all part of a sprawling heat dome, also baking large parts of the central and eastern U.S. as Americans prepare to celebrate the country's 250th anniversary. And amid World Cup games and festivities, these fans trying to stay cool in Texas. In Toronto, the temperature is expected to be above 30 Celsius for at least 6 days in a row. And Canada Day is expected to be one of the hottest ever, with a forecast high of 35 without the humidity. In Windsor, 36, and it could break a record.
Yeah, drink a lot of water and enjoy.
Experts say the first heat wave is usually the most dangerous and are advising people to stay hydrated and out of the sun to avoid heat stroke.
I think people need to remember that extreme heat is dangerous, especially to older individuals, especially to people with pre-existing medical problems.
That danger has been felt across Europe, where the heat wave there has brought about a spike in deaths. The two weather events aren't linked, but share similarities.
So we're under the same kind of a weather pattern. It's a high pressure area that sits there and won't leave.
Meanwhile, Environment Canada models suggest in parts of the country it will be a warmer than normal summer. And Dave Phillips suggests this heat wave may just be a taste of what's to come. John Venavalley-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
6 people have been killed after a shooting at a youth welfare facility in northern Germany. Local police say the suspect shooter has been arrested. Now, it happened at an agency which provides temporary housing for pregnant women and young mothers. Video from the scene shows a heavy police presence, along with emergency crews and several ambulances at a residential street. Investigators are working to establish exactly what happened. Russian missiles and drones killing at least 11 civilians in Ukraine today in what the country's president called a horrific attack. 40 others injured in the strikes at a number of locations, including Dnipro, Zaporizhia, and Kharkiv. Attacks occurring in at least 6 other regions of Ukraine. Some customers left without power, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky renewing his plea for Europe to step up its development of air defenses to block Russia's ballistic missiles. A Chinese dissident who spent years behind bars for criticizing the Tiananmen Square crackdown has finally found refuge in Canada after multiple failed attempts to flee China. He made a daring escape and has been granted asylum in our country. CTV Judy Trin with more on his journey.
A welcome that took 11 years to become a reality. Dong Guangping, a Chinese human rights activist and political prisoner, is finally on Canadian soil. Through an interpreter, he recounted his escape from China.
I had the small rubber boat and I bought the engine from China.
Before sunrise, Dong set off from the northern coast of China in a rubber dinghy with a cell phone. He spent 40 hours at sea, and as his cell phone battery was dying, he was rescued by fishermen from South Korea. Dong said he risked his life for freedom.
The Chinese communist regime, they can kill me, but they cannot kill my dream. And my dream is I have to live in wherever is that allow me to think freely.
This is Dong's 4th attempt to flee China. He was a former soldier and police officer who criticized China's 1989 massacre of student protesters in Tiananmen Square. Over the years, he has been thrown in prison several times for speaking out. He says in 2015, he was put in isolation for 5 months. The guards never took off his handcuffs.
I was kept in a room, no window, no light, no clock.
In 2022, his daughter, who was able to get asylum in Canada, petitioned the Chinese government to free her father. He had been hiding in Vietnam during an earlier escape, but was arrested by Vietnamese police and turned over to Chinese authorities. This time, officials in South Korea notified the Canadian embassy and they sent him a ticket to Toronto.
There must be power above us because this is so amazing. And especially, he never gave up.
Now that he's safe in Canada, Dong Guangping says he'll continue speaking out against China's human rights abuses. At 68 years old, he wants to find work as a commercial truck driver, but he'll settle for driving an Uber. Judy Trin, CTV News, Toronto.
Coming up, a classic plane returns to its former home. The history behind this air ambulance aircraft. Plus, Sabine's back with a look at your full weather forecast.
We're getting set to celebrate you, Canada. We've talked about Goni, Moose Jaw, and Saskatoon on our next Your Morning, what you can expect from Regina's Canada Day celebrations.
All right, welcome back. We're going to take a look at your weather heading into this weekend. It's more of the same. We've got more rain on the way. As I mentioned earlier when chatting with Donovan, we've got some rainfall warnings issued for parts of southern Saskatchewan. I'll point that out in just a second. But right now, we are sitting at 21 degrees in the Queen City. Winds just over 10 kilometers an hour. Did warm up to about 24 degrees. So this is the system that is bringing the reason why we have those rainfall warnings. Now, we're not really seeing them in that southeast corner. Most of it is in the parkland. So again, from about Hudson Bay all the way down to Esterhazy. As that rain begins to arrive tonight, we're going to see it sticking around for most of tomorrow. Again, our friends in the northwest, they're seeing some heat warnings, and there are some air quality warnings for all of northern Saskatchewan due to the smoke from the wildfires. But if we focus on what we've got coming up in this area, this rain is going to be bringing some heavy rainfall for many parts of the parkland. As we start to see that system arrive, we'll start to see it rotating, and it's going to bring more of that rain right through most of Saskatchewan, expecting to see more of that rain. So first thing tomorrow morning, we have that system coming through Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Wynyard, down into the Regina area, and that's just expected to stick around all day tomorrow. The darker that green just east of the Prince Albert area, the heavier rainfall is expected. Saskatoon expecting to get more rain this time around than what we saw in the Regina area over the weekend. Saskatoon's now it's now their turn to see a little bit more of that heavier rainfall. Rain is expected to continue as we start Wednesday. I know it is Canada Day, so if there are any early morning plans for the Regina area, especially, we're going to continue to see some of that rain throughout the day while that system breaks up and weakens into the afternoon, then clearing out into the evening, leaving us with a cloudy start for the Thursday. This is a real quick update on rainfall totals between now and to 9 a.m. tomorrow. Yorkton seeing up to 65 millimeters of rain, Hudson Bay 45 millimeters of rain, close to 10 millimeters for Estevan. You can see again, it's mostly the east that's going to be affected with this system. By Wednesday morning, Yorkton up to 70, close to 30 millimeters of rain for Regina, over 50 for Hudson Bay, 35 for Prince Albert. And we're just going to continue to see this rain continue. Kindersley up to 15 by Thursday afternoon, over 10 for Maple Creek, over 10 for Assiniboia, 20 for Weyburn, 30 for Regina, and again 75 for the Yorkton area. So a lot of heavy rain expected, especially tomorrow. Those temperatures a little cooler than what the average normally is, but Laurent-Laloche still sitting in that seasonal range of the mid-20s. 18 in rain for Prince Albert, 19 in rain for Lloydminster and for North Battleford, and for Saskatoon, 17 in rain for Yorkton. The southwest seeing rain and those temperatures in the high teens to low 20s. Maple Creek at 21. Similar story for the southeast. Seeing a mix of sun and cloud for Estevan, 22, 20 in rain for Weyburn, and Assiniboia cloudy and 19. And tomorrow, or I guess tonight, we'll see some rain for Regina, 14, warming to 19, rain tomorrow, and winds up to 50 kilometers kilometers an hour, and it is looking like we'll start to see a little bit of a reprieve from the rain as we continue into the rest of the week. There is a slight chance, though, we're going to still see some scattered precipitation Wednesday, especially early in the morning. 21 is the expected high with a mix of sun and cloud. 23 and a mix of sun and cloud on Thursday with a slight chance of some scattered precipitation. But by Friday, we're back into seasonal range. 25 mainly sunny, sunny and 23 Saturday, sunny and 25 Sunday, and Monday mainly sunny and 24 degrees. So there's still a little bit of rain left in the forecast, Donovan, for many parts of the province, but we do have some sunshine later on down the road there.
It's good to see the sun hopefully coming out, especially on Wednesday. It'd be nice to celebrate Canada Day in the warm. That'd be nice.
For sure. It'll be a wet start, but temperatures are warming up and the sun will be out later in the day for sure.
And then those rainfall totals in the parkland. Oof.
Scary.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, stay dry. Well, it is a relic showcasing the history of healthcare in the air. One of the predecessors to current air ambulances, a plane which flew during the 1950s, has returned to its former base in Regina, fully restored and marking an important anniversary. Wayne Mantica has more.
This vintage Cessna 195 flew hundreds of life-saving missions throughout Saskatchewan in the 1950s and 60s. Later, it ended up derelict in Alberta until purchased for restoration.
And with it came all of the spare parts from the Saskatchewan Air Ambulance Service. And this airplane was wrecked, but it was all the parts were there.
The aviation enthusiast spent 30 years rebuilding the plane in his spare time. The aircraft flew back to its former Regina hangar on the weekend, now occupied by Prairie Flying Service.
That flew for the Saskatchewan Air Ambulance back in the 50s. So it is the first time it's come home since that period of time.
Saskatchewan's Air Ambulance Service was founded by the Douglas government in 1948 to bring emergency assistance to rural and remote areas.
They have never lost a patient or a crew member due to an accident. They were doing what STARS does 70 years ago. It's amazing.
The return of the air ambulance was part of a celebration marking the 80th anniversary of Prairie Flying Service.
My father was one of the founders. They started their business in 1946. I came on the scene in 1953 and was actually a pilot here starting in the early 70s.
The anniversary celebration was marked by a torrential downpour. Jeffrey Straker was performing for guests when water began gushing in.
It got a foot from the stage, so that was pretty intense. I've never seen anything like this, and I've made music as my full-time living. I've toured for 19 years, and I have never seen this. So,
guests scrambled to push back the flow.
To have a torrential downpour like that, I don't know what that means for an 80th anniversary, but it must be something for one way for us to end our celebration today.
It's proof that an 80-year-old company can weather the storm. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
A loss to Toronto weighed down by some key injuries to the receiving corps. An update on Sam Emilis and who may have to step in after the break.
Here's what's happening in our community. Lieutenant Governor's Canada Day celebrations will be happening on July 1st at 1 p.m. at Government House, located at 4607 Dudney Avenue. For information, call 306-787-6460. The 117th annual Weyburn Fair Days will be happening on July 2nd at 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Weyburn Agricultural Society X Grounds. For details, head to weyburnagriculturalsociety.com. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca, and click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
Well, after leaving Friday's loss versus the Argos with a leg injury, Samuel Emilis was not a participant as the Saskatchewan Roughriders returned to practice today.
Emilis now down on the field. Looks like they're... It was a really on his leg. Awkward tackle.
MLS was returning kicks after James Letcher Jr. left the game with an injury and then sustained a leg injury himself. Today, a total of 5 receivers listed as non-participants at practice today, including MLS and Kean Schaefer-Baker, which the team says was due to an oblique issue, meaning should the Riders have to wade into testing their depth at the position again.
For the most part, we got, pretty good news on an injury standpoint. So we'll see how the week progresses. But, yeah, it's good to, no matter who, we have to put out there, it's good for everybody to get reps.
So in that regard, what news did you get about Sam Emilus and stuff? He didn't come back to the game?
Yeah, just nobody's super long-term, no season endings, which is awesome.
Again, something Saskatchewan dealt with a lot last season. So should Saskatchewan be forced to look at backups again this week against Ottawa? A couple players made quite the first impression this past Friday, including one who grew up cheering for the green and white.
For Daniel Wiebe, wearing the green and white is everything he fantasized about as a kid in Rosetown. But finding the end zone in his first career CFL game is a dream come true.
I've been dreaming of these moments since a kid, and to be able to do it with the Riders, it means everything. Being a hometown kid, so yeah, extremely exciting.
The University of Saskatchewan product thrust into action to replace an injured Sam Emilus. Wiebe stepping up. While he only made 2 catches, he made them count, providing a much-needed boost to a banged-up Riders offense.
It's kind of everything I imagined and more at the same time. It still hasn't really set in. It's kind of crazy to just be thinking about.
We know what that means to that kid and what it means to us, honestly. He just works his tail off. He sparked and gave us some juice.
Riders rookies making an impact all over the field. Eli Conley also playing in his first CFL game, also finding the end zone for his first career touchdown.
I'm just grateful. I'm just glad I'm here and excited. There's always somebody that wished they was in my position, and I feel like I'm grateful that I'm just here playing football.
Making the moments count with the lights at their brightest.
Mims did a great job. Daniel Wiebe, stud, as we talked about in training camp. Q did a great job in the backfield, had some explosive runs, and got a nice touchdown there.
I want to be helping out the team as much as I possibly can, and to be able to be putting points on the board means a lot. It takes everyone. That doesn't happen without the other guys doing their job.
Making its first ever knockout round appearance at a World Cup, Canada's national men's team making history again against South Africa.
Schaffelberg's ball into the box, headed away by Ocon. It's Eustachio! Stefan Eustachio in stoppage time might well have sent Canada into the round of 16.
Well, it may just be the biggest goal for the men's national team ever. Stefan Eustachio's goal in stoppage time, sending Canada past the South Africans 1-0 and clinching their spot in the round of 16. Their next opponent is still yet to be decided. That game starts in about 20 minutes. Brazil clinching their spot in the round of 16, defeating Japan 2-1 earlier today. Gabriel Martinelli scoring in stoppage time there to secure that victory. And Paraguay shocking the world, taking down the 2014 World Cup champions Germany, needing penalty kicks to do it, winning 4-3 on the penalties. And again, as I mentioned, it is the game tonight, which Canada will be watching, the Netherlands against Morocco. The winner takes on the Reds in that round of 16 matchup. Kickoff is 7 o'clock tonight on TSN. NHL draft over the weekend. 8 Saskatchewan players selected, including one in the first round.
The Buffalo Sabres are proud to select from the Prince Albert Raiders, Daxon Rudolph.
Yes, Prince Albert Raiders defenseman Daxon Rudolph picked 4th overall by the Buffalo Sabres. Rudolph was a big piece of that Raiders run to the WHL Championship Series with 78 points in the regular season. That was 3rd among WHL defensemen. Regina Pats forward Zach Lansard going in the 3rd round, 68th overall to Carolina. Well, Zachary Olsen from the Saskatoon Blades selected at 73 by Toronto. Humboldt's Beckett Hamilton, you Red Deer Rebel, picked at 74th overall overall by Colorado. The Detroit Red Wings selecting Raiders goaltender Michael Ursulak, and a third Raider, Jonas Silvertson, picked in the 4th round by San Jose, and Saskatoon's Braden Klimke and Cooper Williams picked at 117th overall and 158 respectively.
Still ahead, Regina police need your help in finding these suspects in an arson.
Welcome back. We're going to take a look at your rural forecast for tomorrow, and it's going to be another rainy, cloudy day for many parts of the province. Hudson Bay, of course, under the rainfall warning, rainy and 17 along with Wynyard, 16 for Melfort and rain, 19 in rain for Watrous and for Kindersley and for Lloydminster and for Meadow Lake, and 18 in rain for Spiritwood and Outlook. Closer to the southern border, some areas may not see the rain, and that is areas like Coronach, 21 and cloudy, 19 and mostly cloudy for Eastland Cypress, but cloudy and 21 degrees for Maple Creek and Leader, 19 and rain for Rosetown, Lumsden, Pilot Butte, and for Carlisle, 17 and rain for Kenora, Broadview, 18 and rain for Assiniboine and Rockland, 19 and rain as well. Taking a closer look at Wapella, tomorrow, 20 degrees, rain throughout the day. Winds also picking up, gusting up to about 55 kilometers an hour. For the rainfall accumulation tomorrow, expect anywhere from 2 to 4 millimeters of rain.
The incident happened on June 13th, 2026 at around 6:40 in the morning at the Ukrainian Hall on the 1700 block of St. John Street. The persons of interest appear to have lit a fire on the northeast side of the building that caused significant damage to the hall. Both people are seen in these pictures. If you know who either of these people are, call Crime Stoppers.
I'm Belton Johnson, board member with Regina Crime Stoppers. Did you know Crime Stoppers would pay up to $2,000 cash rewards for information on this or any other serious crime in Regina? Callers do not have to identify themselves. Calls are not traced or recorded. In Regina, Saskatchewan, and Canada, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. You can also access our website at www.reginacrimestoppers.ca. Remember, our community suffers when you remain silent. Please report crime.
Crime Stoppers is brought to you by Leak Audiology, helping you live well with better hearing.
Well, the heavy weekend rain not stopping food enthusiasts from flooding downtown Regina for this year's YQR Food Truck Wars, the two-day event featuring food trucks by local restaurants, live music, Disney trivia, and many other activities for all attendees of all ages. Although the event has been a staple for years, this is the second year it has taken place in the downtown core.
The goal is to have a vibrant downtown that we can be proud of and enjoy, and just seeing all these businesses, not just the food trucks, but also the business having foot traffic. People always complain about like downtown, like being like, like they don't go downtown anymore. But here's a good reason for you to go downtown.
An estimated 1,200 people attended this year's event over the course of the 2 days at Victoria Park. All right, let's take a look at the farm markets now. Canola Street price up about $3.60. Yesterday, down $5 to $691.05. Futures price also going down to about $736.40. Amber Durham wheat staying the same at $285.20. Red spring wheat down after yesterday's close at about $2.44 to $269.98 per ton. Feed barley stays the same as well, $257.21 per ton. Flax also stays the same at $630.54 per ton. Looking at the markets, the TXX down to 34,823. Dow Jones up about 300 points, 52,182. The dollar down about a tenth of a cent to 70 cents U.S. Commodities front, gold down about 50 cents to 4,015. West Texas Intermediate crude up $1.50 to 70.75, and Western Canadian Select crude down a little bit more than $2 to 54.57 per barrel. And gas is trending down most commonly. You can find it for about $1.69 per liter.
There's $500 million in funding available, but currently the program will operate in only 5 provinces. It's already running in Manitoba and will launch in Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, Quebec, and BC. It will be available for low to medium income households, giving them the opportunity to put in extra insulation or install heat pumps to save on energy bills. Comcast is spinning off NBC Universal and Sky into its own company. The new firm will hold the NBC network, Universal Studios, and theme parks. Comcast will retain its cable TV, broadband, and wireless business. A top Comcast executive says this is about giving both greater focus. The news lifted Comcast shares over 4% today. And Alphabet is now listed on the Dow. The parent company of Google replaced Verizon Communications. It joins other tech heavyweights like Nvidia, Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft already trading on the Dow, which only has 30 blue chip stocks listed. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
All right, here's what's coming up tonight.
Oh.
On CTV, right after the show, you can watch Children Ruin Everything, 2-episode special, I suppose. American Ninja Warrior at 8, Big Bang Theory at 10, and then E-Talk, and then your national and local news at 11 and 11:30. Also, the soccer game at 7 as well.
Also very important.
Yes. A mother and her 6 little ones are lucky ducks after a downtown storm sewer rescue turned an ordinary day for Saskatoon city crews to something unforgettable.
Yeah, these ducklings slipping through a grate and into a pipe connecting 2 storm sewer drains. City workers noticed a few people gathered on the corner and circled around to help. The mother duck paced above, unable to reach her babies below, just like any other mother would be. But with the right tools, the workers quickly opened the grate and carefully lifted the ducklings out one by one. And
it's a happy ending to that story.
Yeah. Everyone likes to see little ducklings saved. Okay, well, if you're wondering where Lee is today, Crime Stoppers Regina teed off for a good cause.
And look at this swing, too.
Ooh.
Bang. The annual Crime Stoppers golf tournament taking place today at the Wascana Country Club. Now, the event helps support the work of Crime Stoppers in the community, including drumming up support for some of the rewards which they give out for tips. Last year, RCS received more than 900 tips, leading to 44 arrests, a record for Regina. And since 1984, it has received nearly 27,000 tips.
So for a good cause, he was teeing off there.
Yes, let's see. Does he make this putt?
Oh. We can make fun of him.
Yeah, it's really too bad. I guess it's a good reason to skip work, though.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, Sabine, can you believe it? The iPhone is legal drinking age in Saskatchewan.
19 years ago, July 29, 2007. Were you around, Donovan? Okay, the first iPhone went on sale. The first model selling for roughly $500 US, I remember that, and came with 4 gigabytes of storage. The original iPhone was not available in Canada. The first version to be sold in this country was the 3G version starting in 2008. What do you think of that?
Around? How young do you think I am?
I need to just check sometimes. I can't remember. Look how they were like bricks.
I was 10.
And I had completed my 2nd degree.
Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.